Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into some really compelling source material.
We are. It explores what's sometimes called the last week.
Right, a key prophetic period, maybe 7 years, packed with significant events.
Exactly. And the sources, well, they range from the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke to Revelation, Daniel, even 2 Thessalonians.
So quite a foundation. Our mission today, really, is to try and unpack the sequence of these events.
Focusing on what the texts call the 7 seals.
Help you, our listeners, understand this complex progression as it's laid out.
And it all starts, with a question the disciples actually asked.
Oh, what was that?
They asked about the signs. Signs of a major divine appearance and, well, the end of the age.
And the seals are presented as the answer, or part of it.
A structured part, yeah. Each seal kind of reveals a different stage.
All right, let's get into it then.
Yeah.
The first 4 seals, they're often grouped together, right?
Yes, it's called the beginning of sorrows. It's a distinct phase.
Okay, so seal number 1.
That introduces deception, symbolized by a white horse.
Deception-like. People claiming to be divine figures.
Precisely. Leading many astray, the texts say.
Got it. Then the second seal.
War. Widespread conflict, depicted with a red horse.
So, nations against nations.
Peace is explicitly removed from the earth. Escalating conflict mentions a great sword.
Intense. Okay, third seal.
Famine. That's the black horse. And the description really paints a picture of scarcity.
How so?
Well, think about it. A denarius, which was like a day's wage, gets you only a quart of wheat, or maybe 3 quarts of barley. That's not much.
Wow, that really drives home the severity. And the fourth seal.
The pale horse. This one is explicitly death.
Resulting from?
All the previous things, really. War, the famine, pestilence, or disease, even attacks by wild animals.
And the impact.
The source states 1/4 of the Earth's population dies.
1/4? That's staggering.
It is. And what's fascinating, or maybe chilling, is how the material suggests these aren't just random disasters.
How do you mean?
They're presented almost as tools, used by this figure called the beast, this oppressive entity, to consolidate power during this whole last week period. They're foundational. That's why they're called the beginning of sorrows.
Okay. So deception, war, famine, mass death, laying the groundwork. Then the 5th seal. Does it continue this pattern or shift?
It shifts focus. The 5th seal brings intense persecution.
Persecution of whom?
Believers. The sources describe them being delivered into tribulation, even killed for their faith.
So martyrdom. And what happens to them according to these texts?
It's quite vivid. Their souls are seen under the altar and they're crying out for justice. They're given white robes, told to wait, to rest, essentially, until the full number of their fellow servants who are also destined to be martyred is complete.
A specific number again. And you mentioned waves.
Yes, the material points to 2 large-scale waves of martyrdom. Suggests a significant number of believers sacrifice their lives.
All right. So after the sorrows begin and persecution intensifies, the 6th seal, what does that unleash?
This is where we see huge cosmic and terrestrial upheaval. Cataclysmic stuff.
Like what?
A massive earthquake. The sun turning black as sackcloth. The moon becoming like blood.
Wow.
Stars falling from the sky like figs shaken from a tree. The sky itself rolling up like a scroll. Mountains and islands literally moved out of place.
That's hard to even imagine. Global catastrophe.
Absolutely. And crucially, the source text explicitly says this seal marks the beginning of full-scale tribulation.
So the beginning of sorrows escalates into full tribulation with the 6th seal, even before the 7th.
That's the progression described, yes. And it highlights the sequence. The 7 seals must be fully opened first.
Before the trumpets.
Before the 7 trumpets can even begin. And all those trumpets have to sound before the final 7 bowls of wrath are poured out.
Okay, so that sequence, seals, then trumpets, then bowls, is really central to this interpretation.
Very central. It's a strict order.
So with all that happening under the 6th seal, leading into full tribulation, what's left for the 7th seal? What does it represent?
The 7th seal, according to these sources, is sort of an encompassing phase. It signifies preparation for what's called a Day of Atonement.
A time of judgment and cleansing.
Exactly. And it actually contains the 7 trumpets within it.
Ah, okay. So the 7th seal opens and then the trumpets sound.
Correct. And those trumpets bring more devastation, but it's more targeted maybe.
How so?
The first 4 trumpets, for example, affect 1/3 of the earth, 1/3 of the sea, 1/3 of rivers, even 1/3 of the sun, moon, and stars. turning waters bitter, things like that.
Still devastating, but specific fractions.
Right. And interestingly, this destruction is presented as, well, God allowing the beast's power to solidify its rule.
A paradox. And then?
The sixth trumpet is key. It ushers in what the source explicitly calls the Great Tribulation.
The really intense period.
Yes, described as 42 months. The beast enforces worship, heavily persecutes the saints.
But there's a protection element, too, you mentioned.
For the elect, yes. The source says those days are shortened, specifically mentioning 1,335 days.
Shorter than 42 months.
Right. And when that prophesied number of martyrs is finally complete.
The number from the fifth seal.
Exactly. Then the seventh trumpet sounds. This leads to a resurrection and what's often termed the pulling up or rapture of believers.
So they're spared the final judgments.
They're spared the 7 bowls of wrath which follow the trumpets.
Wow. Okay. It's clear this deep dive into these seals outlines a very specific step-by-step unfolding of events.
A very structured progression, yeah. Culminating in this period called the Great Tribulation.
And the sequence is key. Seals first, then trumpets, then bowls.
That perspective really offers a framework for understanding these often complex prophecies.
What stands out most to you from looking at it this way? Maybe the imagery or the flow?
I think it's the way the concept of sorrows explicitly evolves. From the beginning of sorrows with those first seals to the full-scale tribulations, starting with the 6th, and then the Great Tribulation under the 6th trumpet. It gives a sense of escalation, a narrative arc.
It provides a framework for understanding not just the what, but maybe the why or the how of these escalating events, as detailed in the sources.
Exactly. Something for you, the listener, to consider further is how these stages might illustrate deeper themes present throughout these texts. Themes of judgment, yes, but also endurance, divine timing, and ultimately a promised resolution. It invites you to look for the underlying structure amidst the described chaos.
And that's our deep dive for today. We hope this exploration has given you a clearer lens, maybe some helpful structure, for viewing these compelling and complex narratives.